£300,000. That is now the average price of a home in Britain. Not in Chelsea. Not in Kensington. Across the entire country. January 2026. The Halifax House Price Index confirmed it. £300,077. A record. And every headline called it the same thing. Progress. Resilience. Growth. But here is what nobody is telling you. While that number was climbing, something beneath it was quietly falling apart. Mortgage approvals, the single clearest measure of whether people can actually buy homes, dropped to their lowest level in over 18 months. 61,000 approvals in December 2025. That is it. So let us be dead honest about what is happening here. Prices are going up. But fewer people are actually buying. And if you think that makes sense, stick around. Because by the end of this, you will see the UK housing market in a way most people have completely missed. Right? Let us break it down properly. The headline says prices rose 0.7% in a single month. Annual growth sits at roughly 1%. No crash. No free fall. Sounds alright, yeah? But here is the thing most people get muddled up. House price indices do not measure demand. They measure completed deals. Sales that actually went through. And that distinction is absolutely massive. Because prices can keep rising even when the market underneath is running on fumes. How? Simple. Sellers refuse to drop their prices. They anchor to what their neighbor got last year. So listings stay high. Fewer properties actually change hands. Volume dries up. And the only deals that complete are from buyers who are already minted or stretched to their absolute limit. The market does not crash. It thins out. Fewer deals. Less movement. More people standing on the sidelines, arms folded, wondering what on earth is going on. Prices stay elevated. Not because demand is strong, but because only a tiny slice of the market is still active. That is not strength. That is an illusion. And it is one that catches people out every single time. Now, this kind of slowdown does not land on everyone equally. It is proper lopsided. And that matters. First-time buyers feel it straight away. Imagine you are 28. You have grafted for years. Saved up a deposit. Done everything right. And now you are being told the average home costs $300,000, while the bank is tightening the screws on who they will lend to. You are not choosing to wait. You are being shut out. Full stop. That is not a lifestyle choice. That is a systemic wall. Existing homeowners? On paper, they look cushy. Their property is worth more than ever. But try selling it. Try moving. Try trading up. When buyers vanish, your home's value becomes theoretical. It is worth £300,000 to absolutely nobody if nobody can afford to buy it off you. Developers? They are watching sales rates slow down. Unsold stock is sitting there longer. Quietly, the incentives start creeping in. Discounts. Deals. Carpets thrown in. Stamp duty paid. That is not confidence. That is a sector trying to keep the lights on without admitting demand has softened. And then there are the banks. Low mortgage approvals are not just a stat on a spreadsheet. They are a warning signal. Every lender in the city knows that when approval numbers slide like this, risk is shifting. Not crashing. Shifting. And in finance, that shift is where the real trouble brews. The Mood Online tells the same story. Hop onto any UK property forum right now. Reddit. Mumsnet. Money saving expert. The tone has changed. Nobody is celebrating this £300,000 milestone. Nobody. First-time buyers are talking about giving up entirely. Renters describe feeling completely locked out. Even landlords are questioning whether the sums still stack up. This is not panic. Not yet. It is hesitation. Doubt. A slow, creeping feeling that something fundamental has gone sideways. And if you have studied any housing correction in history, you know that hesitation is always the first crack. Now, before anyone kicks off in the comments, let us be absolutely clear about what this is not. This is not 2008. There is no credit freeze. Banks are still lending. Defaults remain low. Underwriting standards are far tighter than they were back then. Nobody sensible is saying the whole thing is about to come crashing down. But that does not mean everything is fine either. Because the pressure this time looks different. Instead of collapsing, the market is stalling. Instead of forced selling, we are seeing forced waiting. Instead of falling prices, we are seeing frozen mobility. Millions of people who want to move, cannot. Millions who want to buy, are blocked. And millions who own property are sitting on value they cannot actually access. That is not a healthy market. That is a market running on inertia, not momentum. So what does this £300,000 milestone genuinely tell us? It tells us prices are high, obviously. But more importantly, it tells us that fewer people can actually participate in the system that holds those prices up. And a market where prices rise while participation falls is not stable. It is fragile. What happens next comes down to confidence, mortgage availability, interest rate decisions, and whether buyers come back or keep walking away. This is not the end of the UK housing story, but it might be the moment you realize the story has already changed. Right? If you are in Britain, drop a comment below. Tell us what you are seeing on the ground. Are prices mad where you live? Can you actually get on the ladder? Or have you stopped trying altogether? We read every single comment. And if you want more proper, no-nonsense breakdowns like this, with no hype and no fluff, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We do this every week. And trust us, what is coming next in this market is worth paying attention to. See you in the next one.